So far, Sam has missed the biggest buck he's ever shot at, and Brody and I have taken it relatively slow. We haven't gone real far or hunted real hard, but we have talked about some hard things, about dealing with disappointment and failure in hunting and life. Brody got a front row seat to Sam's response after the big miss, and how he handled it with a biblically rooted eternal perspective. As a dad, I don't think I can put a price tag on that type of experience. In the future, when Brody encounters fear and disappointment, I'll be able to remind him of what he saw out here. If we were going home now, the trip would be worth it. But we aren't going home yet. We have more time to hunt deer, build a relationship, and talk about deep things. And crank up the intensity. I've been watching my son closely the first couple days to see what he can handle, and it looks like he can go a little farther and hunt a little harder. He's ready for that. But he's also still 6, and in order to bring him further into my world, I need to spend some time in his. We need to watch a little Dude Perfect, play a little football, and let him climb the hillside. That.
Too far in front of you. Throw me a laser. No. There you go. Oh, good one. I'll put it behind you too.
We're hunting public land tonight, and a rancher was down here, and we talked to him, and he saw a few bucks kind of on the other side of the ridge here behind me, on the downwind side this morning that bedded down. And so we're going to try and it's going to be a little dicey, a little bit upwind of them, but off to the side enough that it's an off wind, and they're feeding back the other direction recently in the alfalfa field about a mile away. And so it's hot, 76 degrees, and so we're going to have to find a way to stay cool, and the deer aren't moving till really late, almost at last light. So we got about 3 hours, and I got 3 hours with a 6-year-old. See if we can pull something off. Hunting with a 6-year-old is like playing Jenga. So he gets tired, you take out 3 blocks. He gets hungry, you take out 3 blocks. But you can replenish and put blocks back into the Jenga stack with fruit snacks. You give him fruit snacks, it's like putting a piece back in the stack. Eventually, I'm waiting for the Jenga stack to collapse, and that will be our meltdown. I probably won't get that on film. He'll hate that. The meltdown will get worse. Tonight, the boy and I didn't see anything except the landscape. The excitement of potentially stalking a deer was replaced with the quiet and peaceful observation of the beauty around us. It was both a bonding moment and a good lesson. You need to be able to enjoy the journey, not just the desired result. It's a lesson transferable from hunting to all of life. We have a day and a half left to get at it. To hunt more, yes, but also to talk more. So a theme for the trip that I wanted to pass on to Brody was, how do we deal with hardship? And how does God meet us in the middle of hardship? And this is very applicable, one to anybody, but especially our family. His 4-year-old brother is special needs and is in and out of the hospital, and has some very major health scares on a regular basis, and he feels that. And so it might seem odd for me to say, I'm going to take my son out on a deer hunting trip in the Badlands and talk about hardship or suffering, but it's very applicable to our lives. And he needs to know how mommy and daddy handle it, but he needs to know more than that. Who is God, and how does God's character and the resources he provides enable us to walk a hard path? And so what I started with first was just explaining to him that God grieves with us when we're when we're sorrowful. He's sad as well. And the comfort that someone, this eternal, omnipotent being, all-loving being, grieves with us as well is a big deal for any person, I think especially for a kid. Talking with my oldest son about the trials and condition of my youngest brings back a flood of memories. 4 years earlier, I came out here in November, alone, to get away and process with God all that was happening with Beckett. The stress, anxiety, and grief had been overwhelming, and I wanted to put down my thoughts and the lessons I've learned in a sort of video journal regarding what God had taught me. I wanted to remember, but beyond even a personal remembrance, I did it for Brody and any other kids God might give me. I wanted them to know how He had met me, sustained me, and how the Christian worldview alone provides adequate answers and resources for the sufferer. Brody and I both walk with a limp when we spend time together outdoors. We know we'll never do this with Beckett this side of eternity. Sometimes Brody will say things like, "Daddy, I wish Beckett could come hunting with us." I'll usually hug him and say, "Yeah, me too, buddy, but we'll need to wait for heaven for that kind of thing." We're walking with a limp out here, but we're doing it together. Build a little ground blind. You gotta see it there. There's corn up that way. And we saw some deer come through here about 9 in the morning 2 days ago. So we're hoping we can pull it off. Today is a day for thinking about family. It's September 2nd, Mommy's birthday.
Happy birthday, Mommy.
Happy birthday, Mommy. We love you. You might be wondering at this point, did this guy really just take off with one of his sons on his wife's birthday? He either must be the biggest jerk in the world, or his wife is off the charts amazing. Let me assure you, it's the latter. Her selflessness is making this all happen. She's genuinely joyful for us and our adventure. Her selfless joy on behalf of others is starting to rub off on us, and it's about to manifest itself big time. Brody and I are seeing very few deer. In fact, we haven't even had a close encounter. Not what I was dreaming up all summer. But this isn't just a father-son hunt. It's a father putting his son in the company of men. And the other man with us is about to get a shot at redemption.
So, I was heading back to the truck and just by the grace of God spotted three mule deer bucks. 2 of them are mature and nice. Definitely shooters. And too far away to get any footage with my lens, but I'm making a stalk right now. Taking a wide loop and coming over on top of them. It's pretty windy, so I shouldn't be heard. The wind's in my favor. Literally, they're bedded down. I watched them bed down. So it literally is the best case scenario. And hopefully, I'm not going to even try to film it. I don't want to botch it like I did with that whitetail. Unfortunately for you guys, but hopefully you see a film of me walking up on a dead deer. And I think that'd be worth it. And again, God could be gracious to me to giving me this good gift. If He doesn't give me to it, He's still gracious because He's given me salvation and He's given me life and He sustains me every moment of life. So whether I get the deer or not, God is still merciful, God is still gracious, and God is still good. So here I go.
All right, our buddy Sam found 3 nice mule deer bucks. One's pretty darn big, he said, bedded, and so he's stalking them right now. The problem is, we each have a GoPro, but he has one at the battery, or sorry, the SD card is full. And so I took this one today because I thought Broads and I would try and get some footage because Sam already got some good footage of him shooting at that whitetail buck. So he's not gonna be able to document the stalk pretty much at all. So we'll see what happens. Brody and I could be waiting a while. Broads has got to go to school tomorrow, so Sam doesn't have 6 hours to wait for this buck to stand up. He's gonna have to figure something out.
The first deer with the bow.
Okay, so the last video I did, I was telling you that I was about to stalk a nice big mule deer bedded down. Well, I stalked in, got to about 40 yards, spooked him. He jumped up. I pulled back. He was in the lane. I didn't range him. I just thought it looked about 40. I put my 40 pin on him and took a shot. I was right, but I ended up hitting a little bit too far left, meaning I got some guts. And my arrow passer went to look at the arrow. Sure enough, there was stomach residue on it. So I was, if you know anything about hunting or bow hunting, a gut shot is a bad shot. They will die from it, but sometimes it can take days for them to die. So wasn't good. Went back to camp, packed up camp. Was just praying if it was be God's will that I'd get this buck, that he would be dead.
He's here! He's huge! He's running. Go and stand by this thing. He's got brow tines? Dude, he's huge, just like you said. And he's velvet, he's got brow tines, he's got huge G3s, you see him? Yeah. I mean, it's starting to come off. We're starting to come here. I'm walking over. All of a sudden, I'm like, there he is. You caught some liver or lung. Look at this thing. Dude, he didn't go more than
200 yards at most.
200 yards. We thought it was just gut shot.
Yeah, it's a little far back, but not that bad.
No, you still got.
I got something.
Oh my gosh, go behind him. Oh, wow. Pull him over. I mean, he's really rigor mortis.
I don't think I'm trying to sweat so much. So.
Broads. Dude, we can drive the truck right up to him. All we do is gut him and take him out.
Throw him in the back of the pickup.
He's got deep forks. Dude, I mean, look how long this is.
It's so cool, Sam. We get a lot of meat out of that guy. Sam, thanks for giving us meat.
No problem.
Oh my gosh, he's a pig. He's a toad.
Yeah. It's a 10-pointer. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
This is giant. The only thing better than Sam killing this buck would be if I killed this buck with you. But oh, this is a hog. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah. Sure. So, finally got the...
It's not ugly out here.
No.
It's not ugly, Sam.
We are about 5.5 hours away from where we live. So, we are going to be displaying this beautiful deer to everybody on
All the way across North Dakota.
Highway 94. Anybody driving on Highway 94 can get a good glimpse of this beautiful deer.
We're gonna have to plan for extra time at gas stations for you to talk to people who want to know more.
Yeah.
What a trip! I took my son on a hunting adventure meant to put him in the company of men, praying that manliness and godliness would rub off on him. After all, masculinity is bestowed. When Sam saw his buck, he was ecstatic with thanksgiving and praise to God, as was I, something that Brody paid close attention to. The Christian life is taught, yes, but it's also caught. In fact, I've heard of discipleship described as passing on your disease. If that's the goal, I'd say we did a pretty good job.